Alright, what's up guys? Brand new deck profile today. We are doing Gaia. It is a deck profile that I've already done on the channel, but I've been playing this deck so much that I've actually come up with some really cool options to show you guys. But like I said, I've been playing this deck a lot. It is really consistent, and it does the same thing every single game very consistently at OTKs. It is a really fun deck to play, so let me just show you guys exactly what I'm doing here. Play 3 copies of Gaia the Fierce Knight Origin. This card basically allows you to discard a level, I think it's 5, or let me just make sure. Every card is level 5 or higher, but it lets you discard a level 5 or higher card from your hand to special summon this, basically for that cost, which is a really easy effect. It gets it out onto the field very easily for a variety of different plays. It lets you put the dragon, the various cursive dragons into the graveyard very easily. It's very good for that particular reason. On top of that, this card you can banish during the battle phase to make a monster whose attack is different from its original attack back to its original attack, basically. And that's really good with the Gaia the Magical Knight of Dragons, this card, because you can summon this and then lower its attack by 2600 and then pop a card, then go into battle phase and it's 0 attack, and then you can just banish the Gaia the Fierce Knight Origin and then just basically make it 2600 attack again, and then you attack. And then the following turn you can again drop the attack by 26 and then pop another card. So it gives some versatility on that end. Next we play 3 copies of Gaia the Magical Knight. This card is really good. It's probably the best card in the archetype. So, in terms of the monsters, so this card basically allows you to, if you control no monsters, you can normal summon it, or if your opponent controls a 2300 attack or higher monster, you can normal summon this without tributing. On top of that, when this card is summoned, you can special summon a dragon, a level 5 dragon from your graveyard or from your hand, which is really good. It's very good to summon out of the graveyard, and that basically enables a ton of plays with the Cursive Dragon, because you can discard the Cursive Dragon and then just summon it back with the Gaia the Magical Dragon right after that. So it's almost like the cost that you paid is pointless anyway. Like, it doesn't matter that you paid cost. But this card is one of the main play enablers for the deck. We play 2 copies of Soldier Gaia the Fierce Knight. This card basically allows you to send a fusion monster you control, a fusion dragon you control, to the graveyard, and then special summon this just for that. And then on top of that, when this card is special summoned, you can flip a monster, a face-up attack position monster, into defense mode. So that'll enable like piercing plays if you have the spiral spear strike. So it'll enable like piercing plays, which is really cool. It has another effect where you can tribute this card and then add any Gaia monster from your deck, which is also really good, because then if you have to go into like a main phase 2 play, you can kind of restart the whole cycle. But definitely a very good card. Next we play 1 copy of Lord Gaia the Fierce Knight. This is basically just a free summon. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this for free. If your opponent special summons a monster, this card gains 700. That attack boost rarely comes up in any way, but it's basically just a free summon, which can be very helpful because you can like draw this. Basically, this card is just another copy of Gaia the Magical Knight. It's kind of like a way to duplicate that card, because you could just like special summon this and then tribute it for the Cursive Dragons, which can help you go into more plays. Next we play 3 copies of Artillery Catapult Turtle. I've actually seen people cut this card. This card is amazing. This is one of my favorite normal summons in the whole deck. You only have really 2 normal summons. It's the Gaia the Magical Knight and this. Like, there's 2 normal summons in the whole deck. There's absolutely no reason not to play it. Like, at the very least, you bait things out. And this card actually tributes a monster on the field for cost. So it can actually tribute itself, and then you can't even get, like, impermanence. So nothing can really happen. But this card is really good because you can you basically tribute a monster on the field, and then you get to special summon a Gaia or a level 5 dragon from your deck. Like, just off of that 1 tribute, which is really good. It basically it doesn't search the entire archetype, it summons the entire archetype. So it's really good. It gets you into Magical Knight, and then Magical Knight will get you into a dragon. So it's a really good play starter. Like I don't know why you wouldn't play this. I'm a little confused. And thank God they made it a level 4 and not a level 5. That would have been torment, to be honest with you. Next we play 3 copies of the Curse of Dragon. This card is also fairly important in the archetype. So this card basically on normal or special summon allows you to search a Gaia spell or trap card, which is a lot of different cards in the deck, so that is very important. But on top of searching a Gaia spell and trap card, or basically a spell or trap card that has Gaia the Fierce Knight or Gaia the Dragon Champion in its text, so it'll search one of those. And then on top of that, if you use this as fusion material to summon a Gaia the Fierce Knight, you can basically target that Gaia the Fierce Knight, and then every monster your opponent controls that has less attack than that monster, basically its effects are negated, which is really good because it's like a built-in Dark Ruler no more within the archetype. All you have to do is fusion summon, and then basically it allows you to basically turn off all of your opponent's effects just after you use it properly. And you can actually chain block multiple things, like let's say like when you summon Sky Galloping Gaia the Dragon Champion, it allows you to chain block because you can chain link 1, activate this effect, chain link 2, activate the search effect of this card. So basically they can't even respond directly to this, which is really, really cool, unless they have like a Call by the Grave or something. But it's cool, yeah, you chain block and then they can't, you basically negate all the cards on their side of the field. Next we play 1 copy of Curse of Dragonfire. So this card actually came out years ago. This came out at the same time that the Sky Galloping guy came out. If you look closely on the Sky Galloping, he's actually riding the Curse of Dragon, the Curse of Dragonfire there. But they basically came out a long time ago at very similar. It was in a Millennium pack a long time ago. But this card basically, I found that one of the largest problems, one of the most largest inconsistencies in this deck is sometimes you do not see a level 5 dragon, and although they are very searchable, sometimes you basically play 6 copies. If one of those, you basically play, 3 of these, and then you play the field spell, which also searches it. But if they pop your field spell, sometimes you can't get to a level 5 dragon. It's a really frustrating point. So I just went ahead and added a Curse of Dragonfire. This card is obviously worse than the Curse of Dragon, but it does have a cool effect. Basically, this card on summon destroys a field spell. So obviously don't destroy your own, but it can destroy a field spell, so it can come in handy here and there. But on top of that, this card allows you to fusion summon using itself and another material, like materials you control on the field. So basically, you don't even, when you summon this card, you don't even have to search for any of the fusion. You don't even have to have any of fusion spells. You can just fuse with what you have on the field. And sometimes that is more helpful than, not being able to special summon the fusion summon at all. So it's basically like another copy of a fusion spell. But yeah, just you have to increase the amount of dragons in the deck. Otherwise, you run into the problem of bricking, and not only that, it really, yeah, you need to get to the dragons. It's one of the most important plays. So that is all of the monsters. Next, we play 1 copy of Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion is way more important than you might think. This is the innovation that I've had with Instant Fusion. So Instant Fusion actually allows you to summon a variety of standard Instant Fusion cards like Millennium and Thousand Eyes and stuff like that. All this stuff is good for going second, obviously. But most importantly, it allows you to summon a copy of Alligator Sword Dragon. And you're probably saying, like, why is this important? Why would you want to summon this? This is actually a level 5 dragon. And it is one of only 2 level 5 dragons that have ever come out. A few level 5 fusion dragons that have ever come out. And basically, this makes fusing into the Gaia the Magical Knight of Dragons so much easier. It makes just all of your fusion plays that much easier because it basically gives you access to a level 5 dragon at any given time. But yeah, it's very, very good for that. It's basic Instant Fusion basically brings up our copies of level 5 dragons up to between the 3 field spells, the Curse of Dragons, Curse of Dragonfire, and the Instant Fusion. We are basically running 8 copies of level 5 dragons. And of course, like I said, this card does have some cool synergy later. Like, let's say you fusion summon away, and then you summon a magical knight. You can special summon this back from your graveyard, and then this attacks directly for an additional 1700 attack, which again can come in handy once you bring it back from the graveyard, because the magical Gaia can actually special summon, like I said, but magical Gaia does special summon in defense, so just be very careful. But that is it. Yeah, instant fusion, huge innovation there. It basically brings up the number of level 5 dragons. On top of that, this is kind of random. I was like, this is actually the highest rarity that I could get my hands on at the time, because I was like, oh, I'll just, I looked it up. I'm like, oh, cool, there's a super rare. So the super rare is $600. So I just ended up going with the rare. I can't even believe it. I thought I was onto something, but somebody beat me to it. So next we play 3 copies of the Spiral Fusion. Great, amazing fusion spell. Basically, this allows you to fusion summon, and the Gaia monster that comes out with it, the Gaia the Dragon Champion that comes out with it, automatically becomes 5200 attack, and it can have 2 attacks on monsters. And that's really good with Gaia the Magical Knight, because he gains 2600 attack after he destroys a monster successfully once. So you attack, and then you become 78, and then you attack again, and basically, you just game right there. But yeah, the Spiral Fusion is absolutely bananas. One of the best cards in the deck, if not the best card in the deck. I know I say that about every other card. Next, we play 3 copies of Dragon's Mirror. Dragon's Mirror is really good because it basically allows you go through your regular plays, use the Spiral Fusion, then you have a dragon and a Gaia in the graveyard, and then you activate Dragon's Mirror, and then you go for the Sky Galloping Dragon Champion. So you basically end up getting a Gaia the Magical, the Knight of Dragons, and you get a Sky Galloping. Basically, you basically get both of them in one turn, which is really good. And then you get to do piercing, you get to flip to defense, you get to draw cards. Like it really pops off in a major way. But we've got, like I said, the Dragon's Mirror. Then we play 3 copies of Galloping Gaia. One of the cooler field spells that I've seen in a while. Basically, if you control a Gaia the Dragon Champion, it turns off all effects of your opponents during the battle phase. Already pretty crazy. On top of that, you can reveal a level 5 dragon and then add any Gaia card, or you can reveal any Gaia card and then add any level 5 dragon. Both effects, very, very useful. It's one of your main searches. We play 1 copy of Gateway to Chaos. I actually did cut it down just because we play so many Gaia cards and we have so many ways to search them. What we actually need to search, like I said, are these dragons. You don't brick because you don't have enough Gaia cards. You brick because you don't have enough dragons. So I actually narrowed it down to 1 copy of the Gateway to Chaos, and I've just replaced it with a lot more useful going second cards, basically. Then we play 1 copy of Mystic Mind. This is just for the field spell engine. 1 copy of Set Rotation, because this field spells are very important. You want to get to the field spells as soon as possible. And 1 copy of Terraforming. Again, field spells, extremely important. Next, we play 1 copy of Spiral Spear Strike. You can search this off of Curse of Dragon, so you don't have to play too many. And you can search it off of the Sky Galloping Dragon Champion. Like right on summon, this card searches this card specifically. This card is very, very good. What it basically allows you to do, it is like an old school type of broken. It allows you to, if you have a Gaia the Fierce Knight, or Swift Gaia the Fierce Knight, or Gaia the Dragon Champion, it allows you to do piercing on your opponent's monsters, which in isolation is not that great an effect. But if you do piercing, you get to draw 2 cards and then discard 1 card, and that effect is not once per turn. So if you you get 2 attacks with the Gaia the Magical Knight of Dragons. You get 2 attacks with that, so you can do piercing twice, and then you get to draw 4 cards and discard 2. And then on top of that, if you have another Gaia, like I said before with the Dragon's Mirror, you have the Sky Galloping. You can attack again, and again do piercing and draw 2 more cards. Like you can draw a lot of cards with this, but outside of that, we don't have a lot of draw spells. So the other draw spell that we play is the Pot of Extravagance. Definitely need one. I'm hiding a Pot of Desires down here, but you do play 3 Pot of Extravagance. You can replace this with 3 copies of Pot of Desires if you wanted to, but sometimes you'll banish stuff you need. Although you are playing 3 ofs and 4, you're playing 3 ofs, and in the case of the dragon, you're playing 8 ofs, so it really doesn't matter. You can actually very easily replace this with Pot of Desires if you felt compelled to do so. And I don't think it would hurt the deck in a major way. We play 3 copies of Triple Tactics Talents. This card is becoming more and more useful in the meta, just because there are so many effects being activated during your turn, and this is a going second deck, so you know people are going to be activating. Listen, if your opponent doesn't activate cards during your monster effects during your turn, you're going to win anyway. Like, what are you worried about? So you're going second. This card's very good going second. You gotta draw 2 cards, take a card out of their hand, which I usually actually never do that effect since I'm going second. Doesn't matter what's in their hand. Or you can steal their monster, and stealing their monster, you can actually steal their Dragoon of... you can actually steal their Red Eyes Dragon, which is... I mean, that goes without saying. That is, you basically steal a monster, and then you get a negate, and you get to pop 2 cards. It's amazing. And you're going second, so that's just... This really is a very good card against Dragon. Next, we play 1 copy of Reasoning. All of our levels are all over the place, and almost all of the effects in the main deck activate on normal or special summon. So you say Reasoning, they have no idea what level to call. Your levels are literally all over the place. They almost never repeat. So they end up calling something, they usually miss it, and then you get to special summon something for free. And then we play 3 copies of Lightning Storm, because it's a very good going second deck, and we are going second, and we need to OTK basically. So that is all of that. Now for the extra deck, we play 3 copies of Gaia the Magical Knight of Dragons. Very, very good card. Basically, this card has you can, like I said before, you can drop its attack by 26, pop a card, quick effect. But it is once per turn. On top of that, when it destroys a monster by battle successfully, you gain 26. So usually summon off a spiral fusion, and this has 52, and then you destroy a monster, has 78. And this is a card that usually helps you go for game. Next, we have 3 copies of Sky Galloping Gaia the Dragon Champion. This card is also very good because it basically on summon searches the Spiral Spear Strike, and on top of that, when it declares an attack on a monster, it can change to defense, change its battle position. So if a monster is in attack, you can change it to defense, and then the Spiral Spear Strike will always go off and help you draw 2 cards and discard 1. Next, we play 3 copies of Alligator Sword. Unfortunately, not the $600 super rare. Alligator Sword, just because it is an easy monster summon off of instant fusion. We play 3 because we play the Pot of Desires. Like I said, you can also play the Fiend Skull Dragon. Fiend Skull Dragon, technically speaking, is better because it has more attack, but you're going to be attacking with the Gaias anyway. And this thing actually looks like a miniature version of the just the Gaia combination, because it's like a guy riding a dragon. So I thought it was pretty cool. Why not include it in the deck? But yeah, we play that. Play 1 copy of Millennium Eyes Restrict because we are going second. 3 copies of Thousand Eyes Restrict because it's slightly better going second, just because it steals a monster. We play a Relinquished Anima because it steals another monster. It's a cool combination. Sometimes you have instant fusion, you go into Thousand Eyes, steal a monster, then you go into Anima, steal another monster. Pretty useful. And then 1 Link Karibo, although that should probably be another Anima. But that is it. Hopefully you guys enjoy this new tech choice that I came up with, or I have sort of found. But yeah, if you enjoy this deck profile, leave a like, and I guess subscribe. Yep. Have a nice day, guys.